The Jeff Walz team, #1 in the nation in defensive efficiency. NC State, with only Utah being more efficient on the offensive end. Should be fun seeing a great offense go up against a great defense. Louisville and NC State underway at Valvano Arena at Reynolds Coliseum.
See it. NC State starting out in man-to-man defense. That is their bread and butter.
Sellout crowd, despite some inclement weather in North Carolina. Here's Cochran with the shot clock down to 6. Van Lith finds an angle, can't flip it in. Cochran on the putback.
Olivia Cochran.
Take a look at the starting lineup for NC State. 16-2 overall on the season. Raina Perez, Kai Crutchfield, Jakia Brown-Turner, Kayla Jones, and Elisa Canane, the 5 for the Wolfpack. Here's Perez, straight on 3, is good. 47% from 3 this season for Raina Perez. Take a look at the Louisville starting 5. Chelsea Hall, Emily Angsler, both transfers, joining Van Lith, Smith, and Cochran, starters from a season ago. Louisville with 15 straight wins after losing their opener this season in overtime to Arizona. Shot clock down to 3. Cochran can't finish it. Perez the board.
Really nice patience, though, offensively for Louisville. If they don't get out and get something in transition, they have to take care of the basketball and find good shots.
Jeff Walz talked to us about being very comfortable with Louisville using the shot clock on the offensive end.
Yeah, he said, I'd rather take a shot clock violation than take a bad shot that will fuel NC State's transition game.
Here's Brown-Turner. Loses it out of bounds. NC State led by Wes Moore in his 9th season. You talk about linear progress. It's been unbelievable in his time at NC State, seeing the winning percentage rise and rise. You see some struggles against Louisville in his time here, 3-8 as head coach of NC State. 20-plus wins each of the last 6 seasons. Kiana Smith buries the step-back 3. She is having a terrific season.
Yeah, she's been playing great lately, too. And that was a tough shot because that was really good, solid man-to-man defense. She just created a little bit of space to get it off.
Smith shooting it at 46% from 3 on the season. Brown-Turner, yeah, she traveled. And NC State will turn it over on back-to-back possessions. Jeff Walz joked earlier today with us as well on Packer-Durham, and he said, you know, NC State has so much talent. The only way they don't go to the Final Four is if Wes Moore screws it up.
And I love that Wes Moore said, yeah, but they're ranked higher than us.
So I could say the same thing about Jeff. Those two very good friends and love to poke fun at each other. As the rebound out of bounds is going to stay with Louisville.
And Louisville continuing to get the ball inside to Cochran, and Cunane's isolated on Cochran. NC State's not sending help, and a good job by Cunane to not get fouls on any of those possessions. Just play good straight-up D.
3rd straight matchup with each of these teams in the top 5. Here's Hall, off her foot, out of bounds. Louisville turns it over. How about a game like this, Rebecca? Does it take a minute to settle down and get some of the jitters out?
Yeah, there's a lot of juice flowing for both of these teams. This is a big game. They know it, and sometimes, yeah, takes a little bit. Takes a couple sets offensively for you to settle.
They changed the Kiana Smith 3 to a 2. Foul on Hall here. And that's going to be the first personal on Chelsea Hall. Now, one of the things that Jeff Walz talked about is having transfers come into the starting lineup isn't always met with smiles from the incumbents, as Crutchfield misses the 3. But he said Hall and Angsler are so well liked. They're such good kids that are so beloved by their teammates that there have been no issues with 40% of the starting lineup going to transfers.
Yeah, it did. It all lends itself to team chemistry, such an important and vital part to any team's success.
Here's Crutchfield. Jones, who Wes Moore calls the glue of this NC State team. Crutchfield will fire. No. Rebound. Brown Turner gets it to go on the putback.
What a great job by Brown Turner, because things have not been easy for NC State on the offensive end of the floor yet, and she just gets in there and creates something. That's a way to get rid of some of those nerves, right?
Here's Van Lith working the post on Crutchfield. Cochran got it to go. Jeff Walls told us they're going to need Cochran to be able to hit that 15-footer tonight.
Yeah, and you saw why. She had a step. She had the space to take it. You see Louisville extending their full court pressure, coming back to a man, but they will switch up their defenses throughout the game.
It's going to be foul number 2 on Hall, and free throws for Reina Perez.
So you see Elisa Cunane taking a step off of Cochran to help out on Van Lith. That leaves Cochran open.
Alana Smith is going to check in for Hall after the 2 quick fouls. This is a Louisville defense. We mentioned #1 in the nation when it comes to defensive efficiency. They've forced at least 20 turnovers in 5 straight games.
They're disruptive and quick, and we've seen them play man-to-man so far. They've picked up full, but they'll switch it up. They'll play full court zone trapping defenses. They'll play quarter court zone trapping defenses. Sometimes Engstler just starts to trap on her own, but it just makes things disruptive for their opponent.
Perez hits both free throws. Here's Van Lith, hesitation, attack, left it short. Cunane the rebound, the flip out.
Really good help side defense on that drive.
Oh, Perez gets the angle, drops it back. That's 2 for Kayla Jones. Well, it is already deafening in here. Van Lith lost it, able to save it, doesn't have her dribble. And a whistle's going to go against Brown Turner and NC State.
Reina Perez driving it inside, out to Brown Turner, able to drain the shot. Sorry, out to Kayla Jones, able to drain the shot. Right now, the pace of this game absolutely in NC State's favor. You're not letting Louisville get out in transition, not turning the basketball over. That's a key for Louisville as well. They don't want NC State to get out and get quick buckets.
That long 2 off the mark for Smith. Alana Smith. Brown Turner pushing it up the floor. Cunane gets a deep touch and traveled as she did. We'll step aside. Jeff Walls has made a massive impact at Louisville. We'll examine it when we come back here from NC State. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Verizon. Verizon is going ultra, so you can too. Well, Jeff Walls has had an incredible tenure at Louisville through 15 seasons, just picked up his 400th career win.
You know, reality's reality. I haven't scored a point or gotten a rebound or a defensive stop. But we've had some really talented players that have believed in what we're doing and have put the work in to allow us to get to where we are right now.
It's amazing when you look at where this program was. Their 32 seasons prior to Jeff Wall's arrival. Oh, what a play by Engstler, putting it in on the second effort.
And notice that they were isolating Engstler on the block, trying to get her a touch out of that timeout. That's one of the matchup that Jeff Walls thought his team had advantage on the offensive end.
You see the difference in tournament wins, Final 4 appearances since Walls took over as Van Lith turns the steal into 2.
Yeah, points off turnovers. Points off turnovers. So important for Louisville.
That's already 4 NC State turnovers. You saw the graphic earlier about how many turnovers Louisville's forcing of late as Engstler went down and Cunane eventually took advantage.
Nice patience. We've seen it from post players on both ends of the floor. Cochran and now Cunane stepping into the mid-range jumper.
Good pace out of the timeout. Engstler, there's the matchup again. No finish from Engstler. Held ball, and the possession arrow belongs to NC State.
defense to offense. We talked about it at the top of the show. Here, Haley Van Lith just in a hard deny and able to deflect it to herself so she can go in and get the bucket. Every time you go against Louisville, you have to be careful about making those passes across the way because they can jump the route.
Van Lith, the number 7 recruit a season ago, just an absolute worker. Jeff Walz has to tell her to tone it back at practice rather than ever rev it up. A basketball junkie having a really nice second season at Louisville. Rejection there. Here comes Van Lith. Around the Cochran screen. Van Lith high off the window. No. Cochran, yes.
Cunane had to come over and help on the drive, and that left her player Cochran open to get that offensive board. Great work by the sophomore.
And Cochran 6 points already. Cunane out of the double. Knew where Crutchfield was, just a little too strong. And Angsler fights back for the rebound. Louisville looking to push. Van Lith hastily up the floor. Into the paint, finding the footwork, the bucket, and the foul.
Pace. We talked about it earlier in this quarter. It was favoring NC State. Now Louisville able to push out, get out in transition. Just a beautiful step through by Haley Van Lith. That's a post move, little girl.
Holly Rowe.
You talked about the tireless work ethic of Haley Van Lith. You have no idea. She grew up working out with her dad where they would work out sometimes 7 days a week, 3 or 4 times a day, whether it was getting up at 5 in the morning. They would buy time at a local gym. They would go to outdoor playgrounds. Jeff Walz has actually had to dial it back a little since she got to Louisville and tell her sometimes she has to take a day off. But her longest time away from basketball has actually been 14 days. She said, let's just say I'm addicted to it. I love it that much.
Her parents, Corey and Jessica, in the building, taking in the action tonight. I believe you saw Corey at the hotel, right, Rebecca?
I did, yes.
Getting free is Boyd, laying it in with the left hand. Do you want to comment on his concession choices or no?
He was getting some snacks.
Okay.
He was getting some healthy snacks.
14-13, Louisville in front. Nice entry find. Van Lith to Angsler again.
Clearly isolating Angsler inside. Feel like they have the advantage there, and she's proven him right.
Well, one of the things Jeff Walz talked about was sometimes Angsler, if she misses a couple of shots, can get shy offensively. He wanted to really reiterate to her, hey, no matter what, you need to keep shooting. She's getting opportunities early. Hey, Saturday, it's men's college basketball all day on ESPN and the app. At noon, Buddy Boeheim and Syracuse square off against Paolo Banchero and number 6 Duke at Cameron Indoor. And then 2 p.m. Florida State takes on Miami at 6. Number 13 LSU taking on number 24 Tennessee. What a big day. Oh, nice find. Diamond Johnson into the game, finding Camille Hobby for 2. Diamond Johnson has been absolutely outstanding, transferring over to NC State, coming off the bench.
Yeah, on the under out of bound, Van Lith got stuck on Hobby, and there is Angsler again, finishing with her left hand. What a difference maker she's been so far offensively.
6 points, 3 rebounds for Angsler. An 18-15 Louisville lead. Holly.
Well, she used her left hand there, but Rebecca, she's ambidextrous. I talked to her mom, Marilyn, today, and she said growing up she could write left or right, shoot right or left, and even bat and catch with both hands. She said at some point you've got to make a choice. How are you going to write, right-handed or left-handed? You see it serves her well on the basketball court.
That's like super ambidextrous when you can write with both hands.
For sure.
I know switch hitters that don't have a prayer writing with their offhand. Van Lith. Under a minute to go in this first, will pull up. Can't hit the jumper. Nice box out there from Hobby. And here comes Johnson. Diamond Johnson, number 6 recruit in the class of 2020. Transferred from Rutgers, where she was all Big Ten second team a season ago. She'll fire. In and out. Hobby there. Couldn't grab it. Trying to save it. Does. Johnson not shy. Doesn't get the roll. And the shot clock turned off for a final possession here for the Cardinals. NC State narrowly defeated Louisville in the ACC championship game a season ago. Angsler dishes out. 6 seconds left in the quarter. Van Lith on the attack. Fading. Doesn't get the roll, and that'll do it for the first. Louisville, a 3-point lead after one in Raleigh.
What an exciting first quarter, going back and forth. NC State involving their bigs. Beautiful pass into Camille Hobby with the finish with the left hand. I want to see some more left. Give me some more left. There's some left.
What was what I did one day, here's what I did the next day with the time and the initials Pat Summitt. She fought that brutal disease till the bitter end, and we love her and miss her dearly, but we hope we can continue to educate people about Alzheimer's and continue contributing to that foundation.
Amen, Holly, and what a story to illustrate the competitor that Pat Summitt was. Nice take there from Kiana Smith to get the scoring started in this second quarter for Louisville. A 20-15 lead. Louisville has done work in the paint. They have also been disruptive on the defensive end, staying true to form. Another turnover there from NC State. It's now 16 of 20 Louisville points in the paint after 14 of the first 18 in the first. Smith looking for two more. Can't find it, and the rebound secured by Boyd for NC State. Here is Johnson, flicking it across. Hobby faces up and hits.
Hobby does a really nice job when she comes in to spell Cunane and gets her minutes in small chunks at a time, but makes a difference when she's in the game.
On the attack, Burhalls can't finish, out of bounds off of NC State. Gonna stay with Louisville.
We've seen this, you know, neither team is really sending a ton of help when the post catches it in the mid-post area. So here, square up, face, and shoot. All the posts in this game capable of that.
Smith misfires. Nice effort there by Boyd, and it's gonna be a foul on Peyton Burhalls.
You'll take that. You'll take that. Your freshman gets a foul because she's attacking the offensive glass. That's okay.
Louisville, longest active winning streak in Division I with the 15 straight victories. Only loss, season opener to Arizona. Meanwhile, for NC State, their only losses against #1 South Carolina back in November, and then an overtime loss to Georgia. Hobby trying to find an angle as it's stripped away. Another turnover. Here comes Smith, bouncing to Burhalls. She gets fouled, and will shoot two.
Last possession for NC State, they had to work really hard just to inbound the ball on the one end of the floor. And then when they came down, Louisville continues disruptive defensively, hands everywhere.
Going to the line, number 12, Peyton Burhalls. Kayla Jones.
7 turnovers already for NC State. That's what Louisville does. NBA Friday matchup has DeMar DeRozan and the Eastern Conference leading Bulls starting a 3-game road trip in Milwaukee against Giannis and the defending champion Bucks. They're just 2 games back of Chicago. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app, one tap.
You calling that game?
I'm not calling that game. I am actually calling Bulls Bucks later in the season, though. So
okay.
You weren't far off. We can go through my whole schedule.
Okay. I think our viewers would like to know.
Louisville leading NC State 21-17. Second quarter action. Engstler back in.
Now in Louisville in a trapping quarter court, and Engstler, you just see her going back and forth.
Cunane gets smothered. Cochran there defensively. Here's Mikasa Robinson. Engstler on the attack. Nice find. Cochran the finish.
I mean, Engstler, a terrific passer. She can handle at her size and then just toggle back and forth here. She'll go to trap, then she'll leave, and then she might trap again.
Cunane, short. Engstler the rebound, the push. Here comes Louisville, a 6-point lead. Smith. Separating, can't hit. Offensive board, Cochran, she's fouled. And Cochran's gonna shoot two. Olivia Cochran off to a terrific start tonight.
Olivia Cochran is working her tail off. At one end of the floor, working hard defensively. Then you see her sprinting end to end, continues to work, says, no, don't come into me, I'm a little bit tired. Oh, this is the previous possession. Working, working, working. This last possession, she's like, you know, don't pass it in as I post up. I need to catch my breath, and then she went and got the offensive rebound. She's working her butt off, Rye.
Well, that's not something that she's always been able to do. Last year, she came in and her conditioning wasn't exactly where it is right now. She said she's been doing extra cardio on the Versacliner, the Alter G with a nice block there from Cunane. She said, I am now better able to stay on the floor. My conditioning is where it needs to be from working out after practice every single day.
It is hard to battle on one end of the floor and then just sprint and continue to work on the other. And we've seen her do that the last couple of possessions in a row.
Angsler looked like she might have a bloody nose after taking that rejection as Alana Smith gets the sudden spike on Johnson. That three, no good from the wing, but another chance here for Louisville. Cochran digs it up and puts it in. Olivia Cochran now with 11 points.
She got the offensive rebound, passed it back out, and then was able to score inside. Working. She's just working.
Cochran averaging 7.5 per game, the sophomore, former McDonald's All-American. This Louisville defense just locking down NC State. Here's Smith, off on a three. Robinson battles. Another offensive rebound for the Cardinals. Louisville right now with its largest lead of the game, it's 9. Nice find, Angsler to Smith for 2.
Louisville has 13 more field goal attempts. They're all over the offensive glass. They're turning NC State over. The energy level has just been better for the Cardinal.
An 8-0 Louisville run and a timeout taken by NC State.
Louisville's playing with a ton of energy on the defensive end of the floor, and then they have been efficient offensively as well. Woo, what a cut, what a pass.
Terrific matchup next Thursday. Got a great one here as well. And Wes Moore coming out of a timeout, Holly Rowe.
Well, he was brutally honest with the Wolfpack in that last timeout, saying, you guys are getting your butt kicked out here on the rebounds, bringing the ball up the floor, whether or not you're fighting for position. Said, you have a choice to make right now. Are you going to get out there and be tough and compete, or get embarrassed? You've got to decide.
Wow.
Wes Moore told us this morning that one of the things his team needed to work on is to be more consistent with their energy and urgency, and he felt like they had been their last couple of games, but that points to what he was talking about in that huddle. They've got to get to the defensive glass. Louisville killing them, getting the second chances. They've got to take care of the basketball. Louisville turning them over.
Well, I mean, Louisville right now has 12 more field goal attempts already. We're midway through the second quarter. That's a remarkable difference. Smith can't finish. Angsler, another offensive rebound. The putback, no. Battle, and the rebound finally secured by NC State. 10 offensive rebounds now for Louisville already as Van Lith gets ready to check back in for the Cardinals. Crutchfield guarded by Smith. Kiana Smith comes up with a rejection. Here is Smith. Up the floor to Angsler. Angsler curling it up and off. Dixon gets to it. Angsler gets a paw on it, but eventually it's NC State. James Travel. And another turnover for the Wolfpack. That's going to be their 8th.
Seen a couple of travels, couple of turnovers when it looked like NC State would have an opportunity to score.
Big difference when it comes to the turnover battle with just 1 from Louisville thus far. Hall checks back in for Louisville, picked up 2 early fouls. Kiana Smith out, Van Lith in as well with Dixon, Robinson, and Angsler.
Louisville has been able to do a nice job of a nice rotation, subbing players in and out so they can keep this intensity and this energy level themselves.
Van Lith has been shooting it well from 3 of late after starting 1 for 19 to begin the season. Here's Hall, straight on jumper, won't go. Another offensive rebound. Dixon gets clawed, it's out of bounds. And going to stay here with Louisville.
Both Dixon and Van Lith were inside, crashing on the glass. One of them was going to get the board. What great energy.
And Wes Moore always says, you know, I think more than anything else, rebounding determines wins. I always said it again today to us. So you know he's not thrilled with the rebounding effort thus far. He'll be happy about that, though, from Jones, who's going to get called for a foul. After a terrific effort, Kayla Jones is called for the personal, scrambling after the loose ball.
Both players showing incredible hustle. Healer, Jones going. The official said she undercut Angsler, and that's why the foul is on Jones. It looked to me with the naked eye that it should have been on Angsler.
Or no one.
Or nobody, yeah.
Angsler, a three is good.
This kid just has incredible energy.
An 11-0 Louisville run, a 14-point lead on NC State. And that's going to be a foul against Louisville. You're going to get a derisive cheer from the NC State fans.
Lisa Cunane was posting up hard on Liz Dixon, trying to keep her off to the side.
NC State has not scored in the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. They have just 2 points in the quarter. Here's Perez, giving it up. Brown Turner. No.
And this isn't a problem. NC State's gotten some good looks from the perimeter. They just haven't been able to hit them.
Wow, that time they gave a long leash to contact from NC State. And they own the possession arrow. They'll own the basketball. Jeff Walls is fired up. Jeff Walls, I believe, and this is just me reading lips and body language, I don't think he actually thought there should have been a foul. I think he was trying to call a timeout and thought it should have been awarded. But he was given a long leash there. Joseph Vasili, Jeffrey Smith, Dee Kantner are officials this evening. Number 3 Louisville against number 4 NC State. And a travel. NC State turns it over again. Hey, coming up at the half. Jeep halftime report. Best in the ACC, and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame finalists are revealed.
Louisville was in their quarter-court trapping defense, and you're trying to speed a team up when you're trapping. You're trying to get deflections and steals, but you can also speed them up by forcing them into a travel, and that's what happened on that last possession.
Here's Van Lith around the Cochran screen. Van Lith, nice hezzy, and the finish.
And the pressure continues.
NC State having a hard time inbounding the ball. They finally do. Robinson with a reach-in foul. NC State facing its largest deficit of the season right now, down 16.
Haley Van Lith playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. Just the hezzy and the look away. And she gets herself to the right side of the rim.
Van Lith, 6 points in this first half. Cochran has 11. Angsler has 9. 6 for Kiana Smith. Meanwhile, Reina Perez, the only member of NC State with more than 4 points, and she has 5. Crutchfield to the corner. Brown Turner lines it up. Airmails it. Loose ball. Cunane, Cochran, loose ball. It's going to be a foul. And free throws here for Jada Boyd.
NC State leads the nation in three-point field goal percentage, and right now they are 1 for 7. And those are the only really decent looks they've been getting, is when they move the ball around the perimeter and have a shot from outside, but haven't been able to get any of them to fall.
Diamond Johnson, one of those threats, hasn't gotten the looks. 6 minutes and 40 seconds since NC State last scored, and it's still running. Louisville on a 13-0 run. You see those 11 possessions for NC State. 0 for 8 with 3 turnovers. Sold out crowd here in Raleigh. You've heard their displeasure with the officials as NC State finally dents the drought.
We've certainly heard their displeasure.
We have.
There's a couple people right behind us who are displeased.
I've heard some things I've never heard before. Anxler, not that time. Crutchfield gets fouled by Anxler.
Jeff Wallace is looking over at Anxler and he's saying, like, calm down, you fouled, you fouled. But you know what? In some ways, it's all right. You know, it puts NC State to the free throw line, but at the same time, it's energy, 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 defensive energy.
How about, Rebecca, a player like Anxler, Holly talked about it in the open as well, who has this freedom, sanctioned by Jeff Walls as well, to roam defensively. I mean, how rare is it for a head coach to even have that level of comfort to allow a player to break scheme as often as Anxler does?
Well, she has the instincts and she has the ability to know when to do it. And when she can do it and take those risks where it's not going to hurt her team. I don't know that I've seen a more disruptive defender in women's college basketball this season.
Reason that Jeff allows her that freedom, she has a 4.0. She got it last semester and this semester. Not only is she smart on the court, off the court, it's building a lot of levels of trust with Jeff Walls.
Of course Holly would know that.
Of course.
Her mom told me today.
That's going to be a foul against NC State. Both teams are in the bonus, so free throws coming here for Louisville.
The game very physical in the first quarter, not a lot of stuff called. Certainly tightening up here in the second.
I've seen some animation from both coaches. Wes Moore very unhappy, and his contention there was he thought the officials were going into a charge call and then changed it to a block last moment.
Is that from reading his lips or his body language?
Body language. He did the whole thing. It was perfectly pantomime. So Smith hits the free throw. 34-19, Louisville in front. You saw the graphic earlier. Third straight meeting between these schools where they've both been ranked in the top 5. Second free throw, no good. Flag down by Diamond Johnson, leading the ACC in scoring off the bench. At 12.5 points per game, yet to score here tonight. Johnson around the screen from Canane. Johnson dives in, flips up, no roll. Canane couldn't handle, out of bounds. It's going to stay with NC State.
Really good defensive possession for Louisville. Johnson comes off a couple of screens up top. She's really good in the on-ball screen. There was nothing there. Canane rolls. There was nothing there. Ends up taking a mid-range floater.
Jeff Wall's going to take a timeout. Louisville a 34-19 lead with 1:33 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Emily Anxler has been the disruptor for Louisville on the defensive end and offensively able to get inside, post, score, make passes, cut, finish, get to the offensive glass. She has been doing it all here in this first half.
Taking a look at Emily Anxler, a McDonald's All-American. Back in 2018, the number 9 recruit. Played her first 3 seasons at Syracuse, was the co-6th player of the year in the ACC a season ago, and leading the team this season, 10.5 points, 8.5 rebounds. She has been terrific.
How was that defense, Ryan?
Incredible.
I mean, how was that defense?
And the possession arrow belongs to Louisville.
Ball goes into the post, and you need to know where you can pass it back out. Comes in, hesitation, 2 there, now 3 there, and it doesn't matter. You cannot see an open teammate at that point. Great job defensively by Louisville.
Knocked out of bounds, going to stay here with Louisville. By the way, the other co-6th player of the year a season ago in the ACC is also here tonight. That's Jada Boyd from NC State. Here's Anxler on the attack, stops on a dime, traveled as she did. And Louisville a rare turnover in this first half. While NC State has missed its last 10 shots, it's over an 8-minute span with no field goals.
A byproduct of Louisville's pressure and the way they speed you up is NC State has taken some open shots, but early in the offense because they don't know if they're going to get another one.
There you go. Johnson, a nice find to Boyd. Executed the 2-for-1 also. 8-second difference game in shot clock. Boy, you can tell this crowd just clamoring for something to cheer for. Cochran knocks it out of bounds as Cunane couldn't handle the rebound. And NC State is going to have a final shot here at the end of the second quarter.
You try to handle a rebound while you're trying to box out Cochran too. Holy cow.
The ferocity with which Louisville has attacked the offensive glass tonight. 11 offensive rebounds in this first half. Diamond Johnson, the attack. 7 seconds left, the pull-up, no. Rebound, Anxler with time. Anxler will heave early and nearly banked it in from half court to end the first half.
Only 1 for 7 from the perimeter, and there were some decent looks.
At 8 for 25 from the floor overall. Only Utah has a higher offensive efficiency than NC State in the country. You take a look at the numbers and everything slants towards Louisville in that first half. But a nice start here to the third quarter. Elisa Cunane with just her second field goal.
Yeah, deliberate. Get it, the ball into the big girl inside, isolate it, and let her go to work.
Here is Van Lith separating, taking, and hitting.
She's shown so much confidence here today. Her shooting numbers much better over the course of ACC play than it was in the preseason. And man, she has just looked so confident in her mid-range game today.
Giving mom and dad a lot to cheer about. Crutchfield, no. Here comes Van Lith, pushing pace with Hall. Hall gets doubled. Van Lith open, fires, and hits from 3.
Picking up full, making it tough again just to get it over. You can't take a breath. You know, offensively, you can't take a breath if you're NC State. As soon as you get the ball in your hands, there's pressure on you.
Oh, nice find. And Cunane finishes off the delivery from Perez.
Perez, a great job there, holding on to the ball just the right amount of time to deliver to Cunane to finish easily.
2 points in the first half for Cunane, already 4 here in this third quarter. But Van Lith has had it going. Here's Van Lith, dumping it into Cochran. Face-up jumper is good. Olivia Cochran with 13 points. 6 of 8 from the floor. I think Jeff Walls had this one scouted well, told us before the game, we're going to need Cochran to hit some mid-range jumpers, and Anxler's going to have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Both have been true. Cunane gets fouled by Cochran, and Elisa Cunane is going to shoot a pair.
Haley Van Lith stepping into her lefty stroke with so much confidence and also knowing when to shoot, when to pass, just the right amount of time. Reverse pivot gives you the space when your defender's a little bit bigger.
Van Lith started the season 1 for 19 from 3 her first 6 games. Last 10, 38%, really starting to heat up.
Yeah, Jeff Wall said I wasn't worried at any point because the shots were going in practice, and she's a worker, and she's putting the time in, knowing that eventually her shots would start to fall in games.
41-27 Louisville lead. Smith turns the corner. Kiana Smith can't get the roll, punched it out, but Kayla Jones there. Here comes Crutchfield, and a travel.
We've seen that a couple times, right, from NC State?
Yeah.
A travel. Again, I think it's a defense just speeding you up.
Little extra hop on an entry pass. The Crutchfield, who they call Clutchfield because of her shooting in NCAA tournaments. She's 19 for 27 from 3 in her career in the tournament. Hall,
that
maybe.
Was a force.
Yeah.
That was a force.
Jones, no. Canane, the offensive rebound, can't get the bucket, does get the foul. And that's going to be number 2 on Cochran. Holly?
Elisa Cunane has had a very busy day. Not only is this in a top 5 matchup, but at 8:30 this morning, she was in class doing a presentation on species diversity that are calculated coverage versus sample size and the equations they use to decide that. So she is a conservation biology major, and I know I just said those words, but I don't understand anything that just came out of my mouth. It is a very complicated topic, but she says she hopes to get into conservation eventually and teach businesses how to be more sustainable. She's been up for very early this morning getting ready for that presentation, and then, you know, just a top 5 matchup. No big deal on her day.
I like the species diversity, Holly. You and I often, when we stand next to each other, wonder how we could possibly be the same species.
Canane tried to go for the steal. How about the patience from Olivia Cochran?
Reverse pivot, face up, realize you can take the ball inside right in front of the student section that was starting to come to life.
Again, though, a missed 3 from NC State on the other end.
Reverse pivot, take it in, pump fake, get both defenders in the air, and then as they're on their descent, going up for the shot. That's one of the things post players have to learn is patience, and this young sophomore has it, and she's had it on display here today.
NC State 1 for 9 from 3. They've missed their last 8 after hitting their first attempt. Here's Hall turning the corner. Nice D from Canane. Cochran gets fouled. Oh, big time ACC women's hoops Sunday. Wake Forest and Louisville, 2 Eastern. Virginia Tech, NC State, 4 Eastern. If you don't have ACC Network, go to getaccn.com for instant access. You know, Jeff Walsh was talking to us about it before the game today, Rebecca, but you think about the ACC, a lot of really good teams. You've had 7 teams ranked in the top 25 at different moments throughout this season. You know, Jeff Walsh thinks it's definitely the best the conference has been in his 15 years at Louisville. A lot of teams that could be punching tickets to the tournament.
Yeah, that NC State Virginia Tech game's got to be fun to watch on the interior. Cunane going against Liz Kitley. 2 of the better low post 5 players in the conference.
Here are the teams currently ranked in the ACC. These 2 in the top 4, and then Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, North Carolina, and Duke. Brown Turner hits the free throw. One thing just to project ahead a little bit, but to keep in mind from the past with these 2 teams. In the conference championship game a season ago, which NC State eventually won on a Reina Perez game-winning bucket with 2 seconds remaining, Louisville had an 8-point lead going into the 4th quarter, and NC State came back to win it.
Here we see NC State stepping out into a zone defense.
Do you think that gentleman's making it on our mics? Sometimes you just want to know. He thinks 44 is pushing Canane every time. That much I know. Anxler knocked out of bounds. 7 to shoot here for Louisville.
Good job looking for the high-low, though, by Louisville against that zone.
Hall tosses it into the backcourt. Van Lith retrieves. 3 to shoot. Van Lith lets it go. Doesn't get the roll. Offensive rebound, Dixon. She's fouled. Well, that has been such a massive story in this game. Louisville just menacing on the offensive glass.
Surrounded by NC State players and still able to come down to the offensive board.
13 offensive rebounds for Louisville. Hall floats it into Dixon with Cochran getting a breather. Anxler, Kiana Smith, Haley Van Lith, the others on the floor. Van Lith's jumper short. Rebound, Anxler flying in, saving another chance for Louisville. 14 offensive rebounds now. Anxler a 3, won't go. And Boyd able to save it for NC State.
Anxler earned whatever shot she was going to take by crashing the glass the way she did to get that opportunity.
Diamond Johnson still yet to score in this game for NC State. Wes Moore talks about what a spark plug she is for their team. And another turnover from NC State. When we come back in with Holly Rowe.
I wanted to say thank you to Felicia Hall Allen, who tweeted out a wonderful documentary about Lucy Harris Stewart last night that I was able to watch. And she was drafted by the Utah Jazz, the first and only woman to be drafted in the NBA, but she was ready to start a family, ended up having a child and not taking that opportunity. And she grew up in a tiny southern town in Mississippi. She was born in 1955, and she said, I was just obsessed with basketball. She used to hide under the covers at night and watch basketball games, even though her parents wanted her to go to sleep. Oscar Robertson was her favorite player, and that's who she modeled her game after.
Awesome stuff, Hal. Louisville, a 14-point lead. Nice backdoor cut. Smith lays it in on the delivery from Dixon. Well, the pressure from Louisville just does not stop.
You can't just exhale. You can't take a second to just exhale when you're going against Louisville.
James on the attack. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound, Hobby. She gets fouled by Anxler.
Screening down, and you can either curl over it or go behind. Smith goes behind, gets the easy 2. And on this end, Hobby's done a really good job in her minutes. She's played hard, she's battled defensively, she's been efficient offensively.
How does NC State get back into this game offensively against this Louisville D?
Well, first, it's going to start on the defensive end. You got to get stops, and a stop doesn't end until you get the defensive board. And Louisville getting to the offensive glass has been a problem. And then if they can get some stops, they can try to push and get things early in transition. And if not, they've got to work their offense and not just take the shots that Louisville wants them taking.
Under 4 minutes to go in the third, a 14-point game. Number 3 Louisville leading number 4 NC State. Louisville seeking its 16th straight win. Longest active winning streak in Division I. Van Lith, not that time. Nice box out there from Hobby.
Yeah, that was really good battling that time on the boards.
Keeping Dixon away from the offensive rebound. Here's Perez being hawked by Hall. Johnson, hesitation, floater, can't finish. Hall the rebound, Johnson still yet to score. Van Lith the Euro, and the floater won't go. Hall battling another offensive rebound. Van Lith goes cross court, knocked out of bounds towards us as Hayes got to it.
That's the kind of energy NC State's going to need. They're going to need to get really active. Try to cause disruption like we've seen Louisville cause all game long.
See if Madison Hayes and Isaiah James can bring some of that off the bench for NC State, both on the floor now with Diamond Johnson, Reina Perez, and Camille Hobby. Perez, the only starter on the floor right now for the Wolfpack. NC State has gone 5.5 minutes without a field goal. Dixon faces up, doesn't get the roll, and the rebound secured by Hobby. James, step back 3, won't go. Offensive rebound, Hayes. Perez gets a good look. No. Another offensive rebound as Johnson flags it down. She gets free and lays it in.
It's going to take effort like that. It's going to take effort like that for NC State.
Boy, this crowd is just starving for something to cheer about. That ended a 6-minute drought without a field goal as the leader goes for Angsler. She has 11 points and 11 rebounds. Johnson gets space, can't hit the three. Another offensive rebound. James keeps it alive. NC State 1 for 12 from 3 now as Perez twists it in.
They're going to have to get some of those threes to fall, though, Ryan. They're going to have to get some of those threes to fall.
This crowd trying to urge on NC State. Angsler on the attack, lays it in, plus the foul. A chance for 3 for Emma Lee.
Great decision by Angsler because she could have pulled the trigger on the 3, but instead gets the defender in the closeout. Hobby is inside the restricted area. That's why it's called a block, and just a great job by Angsler finishing inside.
Angsler with her 5th double-double of the season, 21st in her career. 13 points, 11 rebounds.
Well, you see how tough and gritty and physical Emily Angsler is, and there's a good reason. She grew up in Queens, and where she was living at Roosevelt Island when she moved, she actually ended up playing with the boys in the CYO League through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The only girl on the team. Her mom, Marilyn, said, we used to walk into gyms and all the little boys would be like, what is this girl doing here? She quickly made herself at home, and you can see some of that grit and toughness in her game to this day.
Especially when it comes to 7th and 8th grade boys, you better have some grit and toughness.
Speaking from experience.
That's right.
Coaching them. Johnson leaves it short. Robinson the rebound. Here's Angsler. Angsler behind the back. The 3 rims off. No highlight as Smith couldn't get the roll from the corner. Louisville has gotten a little more productive at the end of this quarter, NC State, but they just have not been able to pin anything together when it comes to stops and scores. Here's Perez, mid-range, no. Rebound, Alana Smith, 2-for-1 opportunity for Louisville.
And when NC State's gone on their mini runs, it's been Angsler who's answered. She's done a great job quieting the crowd.
(51-37), number 3 Louisville leading number 4 NC State. Cochran lost it. Lost her shoe as well. Just the 4th turnover from Louisville. That was such a key for Jeff Walls talking to us before the game. Not turning it over so that NC State didn't have a chance to run. Perez on the attack, flips it up, doesn't get the roll, loose ball, and a travel. So a chance here for NC State with 1.2 left in the quarter. I mean, this crowd has not had much to cheer about, and they are so live.
Yes.
Just
desperate for a reason.
Desperate. A sellout here of Valvano Arena at Reynolds Coliseum. Perez gets it in. Johnson gets it away. No. Felt like that would have been a big one to end the quarter. But NC State 1 for 13 from 3 tonight. Remember, they lead the nation in downtown percentage. Well, at NC State, number 3 Louisville leading the Wolfpack, and Emily Angsler just a massive reason why.
Yeah, she's brought the energy and she's brought the fire on the defensive end, gotten to the offensive glass, known when to look for her own in order to quiet the crowd. She has been outstanding, as has Olivia Cochran. The bigs for Louisville have done a great job. You heard Carolyn Peck talking about at the half the points in the paint for Louisville. Well, it's been led by those two young women.
Been a terrific, active crowd here for NC State. They have not had any sort of run to really sink their teeth into, thanks in large part to Emily Anxler. Start of the fourth quarter and a 14-point Louisville lead. Alana Smith lines it up, short. Rebound, offensive, another one for Louisville, their 16th of the evening. That pass high, but Smith, nice hands.
Really nice hands.
Shot clock down to 5. Anxler gives it up. Cochran can't get it to go. And a jump ball is called. The possession arrow belongs to NC State. Now they're just making sure that the ball hit the rim and that it was not a shot clock violation before the held ball. But it did graze the rim, and thus is a jump, and the possession arrow's NC State's.
Long time for NC State to have to play defense on that possession because they gave up another offensive board.
Kai Crutchfield, Elisa Canane, Diamond Johnson, Jakia Brown-Turner, Kayla Jones, the 5 on the floor for NC State. Johnson gets pushed, and a foul called against Alana Smith.
Foul charge to number 2, Alana Smith, first second, team's first of the period.
Johnson with 2 points. She's 1 for 12 from the floor. NC State shooting 29% as a team. They're 1 for 13 from 3. They're the #1 3-point shooting team in the nation. The foul called here against Robinson, who wanted a jump ball. She's the do-everything Swiss Army knife of this Louisville team.
Yeah, it could be their heartbeat on the defensive end, and she did a great job anticipating the entry pass into Canane, and she was there, but she got a piece of her arm.
You just know if NC State's going to get back into this game, they're going to have to start hitting some threes.
And their losses this year, they have had 2 losses up to this point, South Carolina and Georgia, and they shot a combined 33% from 3 in those games. There's a correlation.
Shot clock down to 5. Brown-Turner, long 2, he's good.
But still hanging tight. This is only a 12-point game.
Robinson loses it and didn't turn it over. Now she did. Brown-Turner finds Johnson. She finishes. I mean, when is the last time NC State scored 4 straight points? It might be the first quarter, and this crowd reacting as such, feeling some momentum as Cochran sticks the jumper. And a timeout taken by Louisville. Hockey following us here on ESPN, and that kid is fired up about it. His moves all break were just outstanding. Cheerleading coach's son's gonna be fired up about that. After 12 straight missed threes, Johnson buries that one, and it's in single digits for the first time since the 6:39 mark of the second quarter. A 9-point game. Cochran, no, denied. Canane has it. Crutchfield cuts in, kicks out. Brown-Turner for 3. It's a 10-2 NC State run. Six-point game, 5 on the shot clock. Van Lift with 2 to shoot, fires it up, Can't hit. Johnson blasting into the front court, all the way in. Brown Turner lays it home.
The shots from the perimeter that NC State was missing in the first 3 quarters, they're starting to make now. Dribble penetration, and the kick gets you the 3. It started with Diamond Johnson hitting after the timeout.
Johnson cuts in and knocked out of bounds. Alana Smith, Haley Van Lith there.
And then getting out in transition, Diamond Johnson just making the right decisions. Gets Enxler to commit before she makes the pass to Brown Turner.
A 12-2 run for NC State to make this a 4-point game. Kanane puts it in, plus the foul.
Just a great job. Cochran turns her head, able to get the ball into Cunane, getting the and one.
That's something Jeff Walls talked to us about before the game, saying NC State has gotten easy buckets off inbounds against us. Can't allow it. Did there. It's a 1-point game. The pressure from NC State working. Another turnover. Timeout Louisville. A 15-2 NC State run. The place is in a frenzy.
On ESPN, I'm Zay Kopitar and the Kings welcome the most lethal offense in the NHL when they play the Avs. That after NC State Louisville.
All right, Al, looking forward to that. In this game, NC State trailed by 14 entering the fourth quarter. Teams trailing by 14 plus are 3 in 1,278 this season. But NC State has cut it to 1 with still 6 minutes to go. They're on a 15-2 run.
And it's important to note, Louisville 1 for 6 in that run with all those turnovers. When Louisville doesn't score, they can't press, and the press has been what slowed down NC State.
Johnson, a 3. Off the mark, Kanane gets the rebound. Another chance here for NC State. Johnson, another one. It is good! NC State has taken the lead. 55-53 with 5:30 to go in the fourth. What was Jeff Wall's huddle like, Holly Rowe?
Well, guys, before this last timeout, Jeff Walls warned his team Diamond Johnson is in the game and she is going to change the pace. We've got to pick her up. Her plus minus at that point was -1. 2 minutes later, it's at a +10. Jeff Walls saw this coming, warned his team, but they didn't react, and Diamond Johnson has changed this game.
She has been the leader of this 18-2 run over the last 5 minutes. NC State in front. Crutchfield, the entry pass stolen by guess who, Emily Enxler.
It's because Louisville was trapping Diamond Johnson, giving her the attention, and then Enxler came over and saved the play.
Here's Van Lith. Can Louisville calm things down? They dominated the first 3 quarters. It's been all NC State in the fourth. Shot clock down to 5. Enxler with it at 3. Alana Smith lets it go. No. A shot clock violation. And NC State's defense in this fourth has been terrific.
But one of the rare times where Louisville can still extend pressure and control the tempo a little bit.
Here's Johnson. Johnson will fire. You bet! A 21-2 run. The roof's ready to come down. Angsler able to finagle a whistle. If we go just a little bit shorter, it's a 17-0 NC State run.
Diamond Johnson's been incredible. And you see her here, just a little jab step. Smith steps off, and she has the confidence to step into it. An NC State team that couldn't buy a three for the first 3 quarters has certainly come alive.
Guys, Diamond Johnson is everything that a Philly point guard should be. I asked her today what it means to come from Philly and be a point guard. She said, I have to be scrappy. I have heart. I have tough. I grew up playing on the playgrounds. There were no fouls. I played with the boys my whole life. She is so tough, so mentally tough, and she's bringing all that Philly with her right here tonight.
Well, you ain't kidding, Holly. Was 1 of 12 from the floor through 3 quarters, had just 2 points, has 11 here in the 4th. And how about the 3-point shooting for NC State? They started 1 for 13. They are 4 for 5 since. That's in the 4th quarter. The number 1 3-point shooting team in the nation has witnessed the regression to the mean. Johnson trying to work Van Lith. And a foul called on the floor against Haley Van Lith. Hey, Saturday, it's men's college basketball all day on ESPN and the app. At noon, Buddy Boeheim and Syracuse squaring off against number 6 Duke at Cameron Indoor. Then at 2, Florida State takes on Miami. At 6, it's number 13 LSU taking on number 24 Tennessee.
Louisville trying a variety of different defenders on Diamond Johnson, seeing if they can find one to slow her down. Not yet.
Canaan fading, no. All the rebound, still so much time to go. 3:15 left in the 4th. NC State a 3-point lead. Van Lith goes around the back, had it taken away. Jones read it and stole it. Nearly turned over into the corner. Brown, Turner, got it. On a 3. Angsler lost it. 3-on-1. Crutchfield to the cup. A 26-4 4th quarter for NC State.
The difference in their energy, the difference in their urgency. 2 of the things Wes Moore said they needed to be more consistent with. Well, they've been consistent with their 3-point shot. Their energy, their urgency, their effort, their ability to efficiently score here in the 4th quarter has been incredible.
26-4, NC State has outscored Louisville in this 4th quarter. After not being able to hit anything for 3 quarters, the Wolfpack are 10 of 12 from the floor. And Louisville has turned it over 6 times in this 4th after they had turned it over 5 times total through the first 3 quarters. Holly Rowe.
Jeff Walz in his huddle just now told his team, we've stopped guarding. Our hands are down. We're not disrupting. They've stopped what has made them so successful in this game. He also wants them to start taking the open looks. He looked at Haley Van Lith and said, you're open. Take that shot. Everybody just has to calm down and give us what is open.
When you're missing shots on the offensive end, you're on your heels as you're going back defensively. You're not quite able to set up, not able to pressure the way you want. You might get cross-matched. So as their offense has faltered here a bit in the 4th, their defense has as well.
Crowd has been on its feet almost the entire quarter. And a foul is going to go against NC State. Louisville, I believe Rebecca is now out of timeouts as well. Jeff Walz has had to spend them throughout this fourth quarter trying to stop the momentum.
And he told us he would. He told us he would if he had to try to stem the tide. He hadn't had to do it until the fourth.
Here's Smith, still time for Louisville. Hall, jumper, rims off, rebound NC State. Under 2 minutes to go now. Number 4 NC State with an 8-point lead on number 3 Louisville. And a foul. Free throws coming here for the Wolfpack.
NC State looked uncomfortable offensively through the first 3 quarters. And here in the fourth, it has been a complete turnaround. Led by Diamond Johnson, that possession, patient, looking to take advantage of the mismatch. Once Robinson got on Cunane.
NC State has outscored Louisville 27-4 in the fourth quarter. Cunane hits them both. Angsler back in. It's a 10-point NC State lead. Reminder, Avalanche Kings. NHL Thursday night coming up next on ESPN. Kiana Smith kicks. They need it. Angsler can't get it. Cochran is fouled.
A lot of this started for NC State when they started securing defensive boards. Number one, you were turning Louisville over, getting offense that way, but they stopped letting Louisville get second and third opportunities.
Smith can't bank it in. Johnson the rebound, zips up the floor, gets fouled, will go to the line.
28 fourth quarter points. This has been incredible.
We saw those long droughts without a field goal, 2 stretches of more than 6 minutes from NC State through the first 3 quarters. Well, Louisville now doesn't have a field goal since the 8:05 mark of the fourth. And Jeff Walz telling us, you got to hurry. Diamond Johnson misses the second, gets the deflection. Johnson has 12 points in the quarter. Johnson into the paint off one leg. Angsler gives it up to Cochran. She has 19. That's going to be a charge.
The patience she was able to play with earlier in the game, now you're hurried up. Now Louisville is the team that's sped up because of NC State's defense. A really good job, help side, stepping in. Kayla Jones.
Cochran checks out. Pressure from Louisville. Crutchfield dribbled into the arms of Cunane. Johnson will back it out. Clock is the friend of NC State. This absolutely masterful fourth quarter from the Wolfpack. Johnson. Oh, the hesitation and the dagger. Johnson lost it. Robinson on the other end, always playing hard, lays it in. Brown Turner fighting the pressure. Jones will help get it across, but then Johnson loses it out of bounds.
Diamond Johnson, a complete difference maker here in the fourth quarter. Making a couple plays, relaxed everyone else on her team. It made it easier for them to step in and hit the threes that they needed to make. This one's on Diamond Johnson.
She was 1 of 12 from the floor through 3 quarters, 5 of 7 here in the fourth. 14 fourth quarter points for Johnson. And that jumper goes down, 4 seconds left. A fourth quarter to remember for NC State. The number 4 team in the nation dominates the number 3 team in the nation, Louisville, in the final frame, overcoming a 14-point deficit to claim victory. (31-9). NC State outscores Louisville in the fourth.